Hey fitness friends, Diane here. So happy to be back with you after being down for over 2 weeks with a really nasty flu. Have a message for you. It doesn't matter how careful we are, we get our flu shots, we make sure we eat right, we make sure we sleep right, we stay away from people that are sick, we wear our masks in crowds, you can still get the flu. I'm living proof. But what we can do is practice some really good self-care while we're sick and as we recover. So today I want to show you a good yoga-based stretching routine that you can do as you start to feel better. Remember, when you feel really, really sick, it's a good idea just to let your body rest. But as the cabin fever starts to creep in, adding some gentle stretches can also speed up your recovery. Let me show you how. I'm going to be doing these exercises down in my studio. I have my yoga blanket that I'm sitting on. I've got a bolster here in case I decide I want to use it. Remember, this is a gentle stretch routine. We're not out for cardio. In fact, we don't want to increase our heart rate. We just want to get the blood and the lymph flowing through our muscles so that some of that icky, fluey, muscly aches will let up a little bit. First, we're just going to come to a seated position. You can sit cross-legged as I am. If that's not comfortable for you, you can even move your blanket back up against the wall like this, sitting up against the wall with either your legs out or bent, whatever's the most comfortable for you today. I'm going to go back to my go-to cross-legged position because that is what is most comfortable for me. While we're sitting here, we're going to just check in. We're going to do a body scan. Where do I have tightness? Where do I have aches? Where do I have pains? Something you may be feeling if you've been sick for a while is muscle cramps. That happens as you get dehydrated a little bit and your electrolyte balance gets out of whack. You can get muscle cramps. If that happens, discontinue the stretch, rub out the muscle a little bit, and get some water. But for right now, we're just going to find this nice, comfortable, seated position, whatever that means for you today. And then we're just going to inhale and exhale. Just noticing our breath. We're going to do that 5 times. Exaggerate your exhale a little bit. Two more. One last one. Now, if that kind of deep breathing starts you coughing, obviously discontinue and go back to a regular breathing pattern. It means you're not quite ready for that yet. The next movement we're going to go into is a cat-cow. Some people call it a camel. Everybody's got a different name for it. Gentle hands and knees. Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. You're just going to let your belly drop down, arch your back a little bit. This is going to feel really good, especially if you've been in bed for a while. Nice and slow, back and forth, about 5 times. Stretch as much as feels right for you. If a stretched position feels really good, feel free to hang out there for a little bit longer. This is not meant to be fast. This is meant to be healing. Now from this position, we're going to widen our knees a little bit and just kind of push back. Stretch our arms out in front of us, down into what in the yoga world is known as child's pose. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you because of knee issues, you can find a stool or a bolster and just stretch your arms out. We're looking for that upper body stretch, so this works too. Just keep your back flat. You can kind of shift back and forth if that feels good. A lot of times if you've been lying down a lot, the muscles, the obliques down your side will be really tight and unhappy. This will help. But if you don't need the bolster, you can push back and stretch out on the floor. And again, come up and down out of this stretch as often and as much as feels right for you. If you get down into this stretch and it feels really good and you just want to hang out there, that's the way to do it. Again, you can rock back and forth a little bit. You can walk your hands over from one side to the other and deepen that stretch along your side. Or you can just hang out in the middle. And we're going to come up out of this, back around to a seated position. This time sitting with our legs out in front of us. And I'm going to bring my left leg in and start to reach for my right toes. Now again, if you've been bedridden for a while, things are not going to be as mobile and flexible as they might have been. So don't force the stretch ever. We're just going to reach until we feel a good stretch and then hang out there. Come up. And we're going to go down one more time. Again, if you get down here and it feels really good and you want to just hang out there and have that stretch be longer, by all means. If it feels better to come up out of it and go back into it, that's what you need to do today. And as you do it, you may find that each time you go into the stretch, there's a little more flexibility. We're going to switch feet. I'm holding these stretches for about 10 to 15 seconds. You do what works for you today. And one more. Take a deep breath in. And as you stretch, exhale. For this next stretch, we're going to lay on our backs. You're going to move your bolster out of the way. You can use your blanket as a pillow if you'd like. Make sure you've got enough room between you and the wall. And we're going to come down into a supine stretch. Bring your knees up and just let them fall to one side, keeping your shoulders on the floor. Bring them back up. If it's too uncomfortable to bring your feet up off the floor, you can just leave them down. Just go side to side. Want a little more of a stretch? Turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees. One more time to each side. Again, if any of these stretches cause muscle cramping or coughing, stop, relax, and give yourself a little more time to heal. And come up. Now our last movement that we're going to end with is a legs up the wall move. And obviously you need to have a wall that doesn't have anything on it in order for this to work. It also can work against a door. Just make sure nobody's going to come blasting through and knock you over. There's a lot of benefits to this particular pose. And again, this is when you get into the pose and you stay there for as long as feels comfortable. But it relaxes your nervous system, it helps your immune system, it helps your blood and lymph system re-equilibrate. So it's a really nice way to end a stretch like this. So let me show you how it works. You're going to get up as close to the wall as you can. Put your legs up the wall. They can be together, they can be apart. What you want to feel is you want to feel your lower back relax. So wherever you put your feet to get that feeling, that's what we're after. So your back should be completely flat against the floor. And this should feel good. If it does not feel good, obviously, don't do it. And then while we're here, we're just going to do some gentle inhales and exhales. Nothing structured, nothing forced. Just let your body relax. Just kind of consciously move around until you feel everything just sort of letting go and relaxing. I've actually had people fall asleep like this in some of my classes before. So whatever works for you. I'm going to hold here for about 15 seconds just because you don't need to watch me on video have my legs up the wall. I would rather you do it. And then gently come down sideways. Sit up slowly, especially if you've been up there for a while. Don't just like hop up. Let your body readjust to being upright in this direction. And enjoy. I hope you feel better. I hope you enjoyed today's get better soon stretch workout. It's always important to practice really great self-care when you're not feeling well. You'll heal a lot faster, you'll feel a lot better, and your energy will return more quickly if you care for yourself. So stay tuned for more workouts as time goes on. I will be able to put up some more regular workouts later in the week for you, and drop me comments. Subscribe to my channel and let me know what you love. Most importantly, see you next time online.